current situation in the country, especially also from Murkomen. We don't need to just restate what they've said. Are they using Nixonian rhetoric, to try and scapegoat, go to different regimes, just like Kaluma is telling us? No. You don't want actually to own the moment, and you speak to the periphery.
It's Machiavellian. It's better to be feared than loved. There is a principle in politics where you can try to scare and intimidate. It better be feared than loved. But over time and throughout history, what has happened is that those who have ruled by the gun have died by the gun. Those who live by the sword die by the sword. And at the end, when Hitler came to his end, actually it was 1940 when he marched into Berlin as a king. And 4 years later, he was dying in a bunker on a suicide pill. Mm-hmm. Most of these guys who shoot and kill without policemen are cowards.
Mm-hmm. Right, so we've seen, yes, I'm just trying to point out that particular rhetoric that is coming. It is not, it is now the parents who are not really, parenting in the right way. Previously, also, it was the Ford Foundation that actually is trying to foment all this turmoil that we're having in the country. Again, now it is the opposition who are actually paying, and maybe they're bankrolling this particular protest. So the ownership is not really within government.
Let me respond to that question you are raising. Tony has spoken very well. But Tony is forgetting that under the current constitution, there is nothing called opposition. The work of the opposition, which is oversight, is the work of Parliament as a whole, as an institution, under both Article 95 for National Assembly and Article 96. So Tony, don't imagine that there is some party called ODM to do opposition work. It is not here. In fact, the leader of majority in either House of Parliament should be leading the charge against the executive in terms of oversight. So that should be debunked. Number two, let me say, Dibal, that the death of anybody is painful.
But I'm interested just I'm interested just allow me to butt in. If you mention
Dibal, you always butt in.
No, let me just butt in.
When you come and I have to speak.
No. I wanted you to clarify. Yes, if we don't really have an opposition, and I know Raila Odinga.
I've told you it is the work of Parliament as an institution. Mm-hmm. And learn to make the entire Parliament work, and Parliament is working very well.
So what is the purpose of the minority really functioning?
The minority and majority are in one Parliament doing oversight together. It is the system you see in the United States, for instance. There is nothing like minority opposition or what. You remember the time of President Biden, in terms of the House of Congress, they were the minority, but they were the government. Yeah, so these are the confusions we need to keep explaining to people. The imaginary thing that there is some opposition to do oversight is not there. It is Parliament as an institution. We don't have official opposition and government side. Indeed, if you look at Article 4, Sub-Article 2 of this Constitution, everybody is in government, with institutions performing the functions the Kenya stated here. But that is, by the way, Dibala. In this Constitution, the richest part of it is Chapter 4, dealing with the Bill of Rights. If you go to Article 245, which my friends will not tell you, it structures how the agencies of government ought to work. And that Article 245 will tell you the police is under the independent command of the Inspector General. I want to talk this way, Dibal, because we should also not hide our children the way some of us are encouraging them to go to streets while their children are elsewhere being prepared to go to the streets unnecessarily. Dibal, the death of any Kenyan was still the death of a Kenyan child is very unfortunate. And it is something no sane Kenyan can sit on a desk anywhere, including here, to joke around with. What I request of all of us as leaders of Okong'o Tony is that we don't be selective when some Kenyans die. I hear us now talking about within a month this number of children died. Yikal, what were we doing in the month of July and August of 2023? On 21st July alone, on the orders which Gachagua confirmed were coming from him, that is an operation that was left with charge, and is on record and on television. People were being pulled from houses in Nyamasari and Nyalenda. One by one, every male person was being shot on the head, the heart, and the genitals. What were we doing as a Azimio team with Akina Kalonzo for the whole of August? Burying people. And we have a case before the High Court, Dibal, for 75 people killed in that period alone. Do I tell you the difference? For those people, the case has not been able to move. Why? Because you don't know the police who shot them. You saw the police officers who were shooting Raila in the car on something confirmed by Gachagua himself, that is the one who was in charge of. Who are they? The difference from that time and now is that there is more accountability. So you shoot Were Ong'ondo today, and within a week we know who shot him. You shoot Boniface Mwangi Karaoke today, and the people go to court. You shoot Albert Ojwang, and in no minute, people are going to court. Other investigations continue. This is unlike before. And this is only happening because we are in an arrangement where we insisted that for every human right abuse, there must be accountability in the